It's not on.
Hello everyone, we are here live today with the cast of All or Nothing the Mod Musical. Welcome to the Theatre Cafe everyone. Has everyone been here before?
No.
I walked in once.
But it's fabulous. I'll be here all the time from now on.
Good to hear it, good to hear it. So you've just moved to the Ambassadors Theatre, so you did a little run at the Arts, and obviously it was so popular you had to move to somewhere else. Just tell us a bit about the show.
Well, yeah, we did a 5-week run at the Arts, and now we're at the Ambassadors until June the 2nd, so please come and see us. And it was by popular demand. The show is called All or Nothing the Mod Musical. It's kind of different to a lot of other musicals, in as much as it's quite raw and out there, and it's kind of like being there and being at a gig, because I was there, so I'm the writer, and
That's
so
it.
I portrayed that.
Just talk a bit about that. Now, you were a big fan of the all faces, the small faces, weren't you?
Well, more than that, I grew up in the East End in the 60s, and knew Steve Marriott, who was the lead singer of the Small Faces, and he was a mod alongside my cousins who were all in bands together, and so he used to come around my house, so that was my first encounter with Steve, and I loved the whole mod movement, the fashion and it was just amazing. There's not many people out now I can see that were actually alive at the time, but I see one, there you go. But it was a fantastic time to be alive, and I always wanted to portray that and the whole mod movement, really, how exciting it was, time when working class people became artists in their own right and said, we're not playing by your rules, this is our art, this is our culture. And to me, the Small Faces were the epitome of mod, and their music is incredible and timeless, and they've influenced all sorts of other times and bands, like, for instance, Paul Weller's Jam, and
well, I was just going to say,
onwards.
I know a chap called Steve Craddock.
Steve Craddock's a good man,
And
he's a fan, and he's been to see the show.
A very big fan,
I loved it.
Yeah. So
Steve Craddock's Ocean Colour Scene.
Yeah, Ocean Colour Scene.
Yeah, that's right. So I just wanted to put all that together in something that was more of a story. It's their story as well, which is quite moving. But the show makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you dance and sing. Everybody up at the end singing. So, and it's set in the 60s, and it's the classic rock and roll tale of the rise and demise of a band, and the flavour and atmosphere of the times, and with great music that's just played live by these fabulous cast who are brilliant musicians and great actors, all played live. Let me tell you, that's just staggering. Yeah.
And that's one of the things that obviously I took from the show when I came to see it, is having that band on stage, and the music just fills the auditorium, doesn't it? It's absolutely fantastic, and just being able to see you guys doing that as well is absolutely incredible.
Well, it's rock and roll. It's always rock and roll, it's raw, and it's the coolest musical ever. So I'm going to put it over to some of the cast.
So as Carol was saying, all the music is live, and it's very raw, and it's incredibly loud, even for us on stage. And it's a pleasure to play, because it's quite rare that you get to pretend to be a rock star for a living, and you've got some amazing scenes, and you get to sing and everything like that.
And you get rock stars coming to see you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Didn't Dr. Brian May pop in last night?
Yeah, that was amazing to have people like that come and see us. It's just amazing, and you realise just how much of an influence the Small Faces were on the music industry, as Carol said. So they're quite sort of unsung heroes among the sort of commercial world, but they were the iconic mod band, really, weren't they?
So just talk a bit about what it's like playing real people as well for you guys. So obviously you're having to portray people that actually existed.
Not only exist, lots of them are friends of Carol's. It's quite demanding. And I played Phoebe Arnold, and I got to FaceTime her one day in the dressing room, which was quite amazing, and great research for me. It's a lot of pressure, but it's nice that you've got the support at the same time. So it's lovely.
I think it's really nice as well when people come to watch it, and definitely the people that were around in the 60s have
that kind of nostalgia of the stuff that they remember. The audience just erupts when certain cameos come on. But also when we've all had kind of younger friends, you know, maybe students that we teach that are kind of as young as 8 or 11, 12, who come and they've just fallen in love with the 60s as well, who are like, it's so cool, I love what you wear, and I love the music and the dancing, everyone loves the style of the dance. So it definitely is something that everybody has enjoyed, whether you're watching it as memories or you're kind of finding out new stuff. Like, I didn't know much about it, and now we're all obsessed. Fringes and all.
So just talk a little bit about the fact that how difficult it is having to go from 1 minute holding a bass guitar or a microphone upside down. How difficult is it going from one to the other? So going from playing a guitar to then having to go into a quite emotive scene. What's that like?
That's one for you, mate. I'm a keyboard player.
Alex, everybody.
Oh, that's great. So, to answer that question specifically, yeah, I suppose it was quite difficult at first in rehearsals to get your head around learning the music as accurately as you possibly can, and then having to deal with putting your guitar down, making sure it doesn't feed back, making sure you don't knock it over, and then thinking, oh right, I'm now in a scene. And I mean, what helps is that obviously, you know, we are the characters and they were real people, and so there's no sort of snapping out of it. You know, you are, when we put the instruments down or we turn them off or whatever, like, we're still obviously playing those people. And there's so much footage of them on YouTube now, and there's DVDs and films and books and everything. So there's so much for us to base our characters on. And I think you know, we've had so much rehearsal and so much help from Carol that we sort of don't think about it now. It just sort of happens.
And Pat is an actual rock star.
Yeah, and
RMD is a real rock
Your
star.
MD's a rock star.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And our vocal coach is Molly Marriott, who's Steve Marriott's daughter, who's also a fantastic singer and musician.
Again, no pressure then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've had some questions sent in from fans. What is your favourite song to play in the show?
Go on. It's that way up, yeah?
Yeah.
Me, yeah, Tin Soldier, without a doubt. That is the right answer.
Tin Soldier.
Yeah.
Not that I play it, but yeah, that's my
Tin
favourite.
Soldier is probably one of the most fun. And Lazy Sunday, I think a lot of people know it.
I was going to say, is it the ones that the crowd get behind that you kind of lifts you and you think, oh yeah, this is
Yeah, you can hear them singing along, and quite often they shout out the famous lyrics before we even get to them, which is amazing. And then, you know, we've got a nice little medley of songs at the end that everyone's dancing and singing to. Yeah. So yeah, Tin Soldier.
We don't just, you know, do the ones that are all recognised as well. I mean, one of my favourite songs is I'm Only Dreaming. And I know it's Paul Weller's favourite song as well, and it kind of makes me, I stand aside, because I'm very proud of them all anyway, but it kind of brings tears to my eyes as well. And when I hear PP, beautiful PP singing this one, you know, it's just fantastic. And the other thing is that I sometimes, you know, knowing them, and I just turn back and it's almost like Steve's there, they're there, you know, which is really weird. But so. Music, yeah.
Okay, how did you research the small faces to help with your portrayals? You kind of covered that. A lot of YouTube by the sounds of it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I just joined and I swing the show. So for me, there's been a massive onslaught of who is this person, who is this person, who is this person, who is this person? How do they play all of these things, and how do they come together and create all of the energy that they have musically? So I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm very fresh out of the box, really. But yeah, again, just books, people they influenced, countless hours and long mornings watching and writing, and so yeah.
Little tales we can tell.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Anecdotes and stuff like that. Yeah.
And everyone also helped, just because I've just joined, everyone's really helpful individually in saying, oh, you need to think about this because this is what I've learned, and like filling in holes that I've missed. So yeah.
Were you fans of mod movement and music before you joined the cast? Be honest.
Well, obviously I was.
Obviously you were.
I was a little bit, but now I'm even more so. Yeah.
I was very ignorant to the mod movement, but I now love it.
Yeah.
Even I think my clothes have changed, even stuff like that, the way that we're dressing, and just it's definitely going to be part of me now.
Once a mod, always a mod.
Yeah.
I decided to become a mod when I was 14, when I was at school, for the skater boys were nicking all the girls I fancied, so I decided the best form of rebellion was tacit and quiet, subvert from within. So I borrowed £10 off my mate Nicky Sweetland to buy the Keith Moon biography, which is where I got first introduced to Mac actually, and it all went off there really. So yeah, it's been a big part of my life certainly for up to years, and you know, when I was growing up, rock and roll was something that genuinely did change your life and was a way of life. It wasn't art, it wasn't just a form of expression, it was something that defined you, gave you an identity and encompassed, you know, your very being. You know, to me it's always been very, very important because of that.
Excellent, proper fan. Proper fan.
Intellectual.
That was a fantastic. I know.
Intellectual mod.
Can you tell I was taken aback? I was shocked for a moment there. Okay, do you prefer acting, singing, or playing music?
I prefer singing. I think everybody knows that. But yeah, it's my first kind of ever. It was an introduction to acting for me, so I'm learning a lot as I go along. But singing is in my soul.
I couldn't tell you. I came at all of them from very different angles at different times in my life, but they all seem to keep coming together in one thing and all encompassing. So it's hard for me to be like, oh, I prefer. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a hybrid, a mongrel, some would say.
Or we could call it a triple threat.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna pass the mic. Don't give a shit.
Well, I think mine's singing, but I can't sing. But I'd love to be able to sing, so maybe this is why I wouldn't have a musical. I'm fantastically musically talented. But I do have my talents. I'm the writer and director and producer.
Star in the show.
And star in the show. I'm in the show, yeah. And I've been an actor for 45 years, and I guess that's always been my first love. Yeah, I love the acting, love the directing, producing. That's the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very proud that we've achieved what we have, and I'm proud of all of these people here, my lovely cast and crew. So.
I would say I came into it as an actor, and so I'd say acting's probably my first love, and then my final year of drama school I realised that it's quite handy if you can play an instrument and sing a little bit. So like I said before, I feel incredibly grateful to be able to be playing music and singing and acting. It's a great show for that.
I like musical theatre because I love doing it all, but I think the dancing in the show really is also definitely captures the time as well. You've got amazing choreography that people kind of also comment on about how, you know, even just creating Top of the Pops or Thank You Lucky Stars and all of those things that are referenced in the 60s. So it's definitely got the singing and the acting, but we do have that kind of dance element. If you are wanting more of like a conventional musical theatre, it does have that as well.
I feel like it's a bit being asked, do you prefer tea, coffee or biscuits, or who's your favourite child? It's very
Oh dear, was that a source of...
It's Tim, by the way. Yeah, it's very hard to give an honest answer because there's so many external factors that go into influencing something which is, you know, really kind of the moment. They're all great, and the point is it's your job to find the wonder in all of them, and you'll find the wonder in each and every single aspect of that life of yours at different times based on their outfits.
Alex, you hadn't acted.
Alex hadn't really acted before, had you?
No.
And he came in to see us a few times because he's an amazing musician. How many instruments do you play, darling?
Not enough.
Yeah, about 15, you know, or whatever. And he's great, wonderful, wonderful guy. But at first, you know, I just felt it is a big act as well, you know. It's not just like another musical where it's a cue for another song. They are actual dramatic, scenes and comedy timing and everything, So eventually, after a couple of times of him coming back, bless him, we put Alex in and he's amazing. He's just brilliant, and it's just really come on, from someone who was not an actor to someone who's really fabulous actor now.
I'll give you that $5 later, Carol.
Okay, final question. This one's going to be for you, Carol, as well. Can you sum up this show in 3 words?
The coolest musical ever.
Lovely. Guys, if you want to get tickets to see All or Nothing, it's at the Ambassadors Theatre for a long time. So you've got plenty of time. We've got a link. Exactly, no excuses till June 2nd. We've got a link in our post, so you can click on that to get tickets. And I think we're very lucky that we were also joined today by the very, very special scooter. So if anybody comes down in the next half an hour, you can get a photo taken with the scooter. We're going to show you it on the camera now. Let's go.
Cool.
You coming?
Yeah. We're going.
Oh, really? That's great. Come down and see us in the next half an hour and get your photo taken with the scooter. Thanks for coming in, guys. Thank you. Thank you.